Yeah, it turned around backwards.
There we go. Just checking to make sure it's working. Maybe you can hear me. Not really sure.
Got about 10 seconds to light.
I can't tell if the microphone's working or not. You can't hear me? No, it's been a long time since we've done this. Cindy's watching on the cell phone. She didn't want to join me in front of the camera here.
About 10 seconds later.
There is a delay, so how long would you say it was? About 10 seconds?
Give or take.
Roughly a 10-second delay between what I say and when it actually hits. So if you make a comment and I don't answer for a few seconds, it's because there is a delay. It works both ways. What? Let's see here. I was waiting to see if we had anybody join us besides one or two, or somebody that would comment. I just wanted to see if it worked too. It's been years since we've done this. I wanted to see if we can still do it. We can still make a live stream. That delay's getting you, huh?
Oh, I put high.
Yeah.
Your chat's working.
Am the volume okay? Okay. I don't know nothing about this computer. The last time we used a different computer, and I just got this one somewhat working. It's fought me for about an hour and a half. You're having a meltdown over there.
You're echoing.
In the microphone or dual because you're in the room with me?
It's because you're saying something right there, and then I hear it here.
I could talk quieter, I guess. I was hoping somebody would join us, but a little odd time. We didn't advertise. So. Hope everybody's having a good day. Been working in the garden, mowing grass, taking care of the grandbaby. Always something to do. I can't help it. You just have this look on your face. I'm supposed to do this, huh? I just want to see if anybody join us. This is basically a test just to make sure it still works. Never know, especially when you change computers. We did have somebody that joined us, I guess. I got my headphones hooked up behind me, so mine won't make no noise. Have the mirror effect. I've got a computer behind me and one in front of me. If I scooted over, it would be a computer effect. It'd be a mirror reflection of it. That's good to know it works again. When nothing going on, so I decided I'd try it, see if I could get it back again like we used to do. When we first started our channel, we got online and had live streams, but had a couple of them. But the garden does keep me busy. I've got 4 gardens. A lot more than I can really handle, but I just keep planting stuff. I can't help myself. it'd be good here in another month or so. When everything starts coming in, it'll be really nice to have it. Right now, it's a lot of work to get it put out and get the grass, keep the grass out of it, I should say. That's a daily battle. We got new trees, new bushes, new vines, got all kinds of stuff growing. Don't really show a lot of it. It takes a lot of time to make a video. Usually I'm running from one little job to the other, so I don't take time to grab the camera and make videos. I try to pick out a few things during the week to show, but there's always something to do. It's busy around here, especially with a grandchild. I don't have StreamYard yet, so it was on my other computer, which I don't have now. I don't have no way really displaying pictures or anything like that I know of. Don't know much about the YouTube setup. Been so long since we've done it. What else can you think of? I know we do nothing but work and sleep and garden all I do.
That's all you do.
Play the grandbaby. Don't go nowhere, don't do anything. It's always more to do here than I'm getting done anyway. I did take on summer school driving, so that's tied me up for another month. Although I am regretting that I signed myself up for that, but ain't much I can do now. I'm kind of stuck with it. It's more money in the pockets, and got to be done.
Hey, it's a free ride to work.
It's a free ride to work, you're right. Hey, don't have to buy gas.
That's almost a pay raise.
I just got to take a couple dozen with me.
Yeah, it's a good little program though. Not a program. They actually get to have fun with the kids.
I'm assuming I hadn't been up there. I drop them off and run.
Well, I'm seeing some pictures on Facebook and some of them said that they're having a good time and stuff with them. It's a fun. It's educational, but it's fun. It's not, it's. I mean, it's not like what they have to do there in the school year where they're regulated by the state to do this. They actually get to have arts and crafts and hands-on stuff a lot. At least according to the pictures.
Alrighty.
Like I said, I'm going by the pictures I seen. They've had little craft things, and there was a picture on them the other day where they went down to the high school shop teacher and she was showing them how to use little hand drills and stuff. At least I'm assuming they went to the high school shop.
Yeah.
It was the shop teacher, so, or one of the shop teachers. She's a carpentry, I think is what she teaches. They were just saying learning a new skill was the thing on the picture. And one of the pictures had a little girl holding a tiny screwdriver, cordless screwdriver, and screwing the screws into a board. They don't
It's
get
nice
that
to learn.
for the school year.
Using power tools will be a nice thing to learn. Cordless screw gun is a lifesaver. I don't know what I'd do without mine. I've
They need
used
to
them
go
way
back
too long.
teaching how to cook, clean, and wash clothes.
If they gave them a Phillips screwdriver and a handful of screws, they would never get nothing done. Pulling the trigger and watching the screw go in, yeah, they love that. It don't take no effort, really.
Well,
You know, when I started out, I had
the whole world.
we had a hand-powered screwdriver. You had to pick the Phillips screwdriver up and push them in. We've had a battery-powered drill for a long time. It's been an excellent thing.
I'm spoiled. I don't like using the old manuals no more.
Well, I got a few minutes going here. I'm not gonna keep it on here long, but as far as our garden goes, like I said, we got 4 gardens. I've got 4 different kinds of corn now. I get done, it'll be 18 rows of corn.
All this wheat thing is, you got you and your little mouse in your pocket?
You own it. You half in it. You might not do the work, but your name and my name both on the property. So.
I observed from the window.
Yeah.
From the couch.
Right now we've got 85 tomato plants out, I think. A couple dozen, somewhere close to 2 dozen pepper plants. Getting mighty close. Peanuts, 8 rows of potatoes, okra, cucumbers, watermelon, cantaloupe. I know I'm missing some stuff. Beans. We got 2 rows of beans, and then we got the double row of pole beans, or what we call stick beans, on a trellis. Still got onions, still got garlic. Got a little cabbage planted, but it's getting hot. It's probably going to bolt. Just planted a line of what I think is pumpkin. I found the plants growing. Not really sure what they are, but we got several mystery plants this year. So I find them growing, I dig them up, and I put them into a pot and get them rigged out good, or I put them in the garden, and we're going to find out what they are. Ain't nothing like a good volunteer plant. What else is out there? We got the sunchokes. That's at the bottom of the garden. Of course, we got all kinds of fruit. We got the blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, arona berries, goji berries, apple trees, pear trees, peach trees, plum trees, stuff I can't even think of, grapevines, big trees.
Muscadine.
Muscadine. I got muscadine, big muscadine down there. Trying to get 2. I don't know, they stuff all over the yard. Hazelnut trees in the front yard. Always got lots of stuff going. It's a lot to keep up with. But it's good when it comes harvest time. We do have several videos of the garden. We've got videos of the tractors. We run an old farm all tractor. We got 2, but one of them's on the garden ready. The other just, it should have been a show tractor, but money got tight and it never did get really finished. It's not complete as a show tractor, but it does run. And it's got paint on it. We build stuff out of wood, build stuff out of metal. I'm a machinist, a fabricator, diesel mechanic, auto mechanic. I work on lawnmowers and weed eaters for myself. I don't work on nobody else's. Try not to. I don't like working on my own weed eater, but I don't know. We do all kinds of stuff here. The homestead and pasture. I was hoping somebody'd find us. We haven't done a live stream in what, 2-3 years. When we first started the page, we first started YouTube, we done a few. Become aggravating, too hard to fit in with everybody else's schedules. We just started doing videos and porch talks and simple things. I go to the Homestead and Pastures live stream now. He's on mine. I'm glad you're here. I'm really running out of things to talk about. I've extended my knowledge already. I'm already burned out here. What else you got to say?
Good.
You ain't got nothing to say?
Been a rough day. So what's the weather like?
Oh, right now it's 71 with 94% humidity, so it's sticky. It's been pretty good today. Well, 88, 90 degrees today. Wasn't bad.
Supposed to get triple digits next week, ain't it?
Yeah, we're supposed to get up pretty hot next week. How about your weather? How's South Carolina? I need to remind you there is about a 10-second delay, roughly, what we figured. So we don't move, you know why.
Well, it rained a lot, and now it's dry.
It can be really dry.
It's gonna be really dry.
Everything I've watched, I can't get nobody to say anything about rain. All the weathermen want to talk about hot weather and dry weather.
The hard part's gonna be, it's not gonna be so much the temperatures as it is the heat index. You know, it's 90 degrees outside, but feels like 110.
Mm-hmm. It gets pretty humid most of the time here. We like it when the humidity drops. It's easier to say the humidity drops than it does when it rises around here. They're getting rain.
77 here now, just a little rain shower about 30 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, they're getting rain.
We're good.
It's
They
been,
got showers, we didn't get showers.
what, 3 days since we've had rain?
Really?
4. Dries up really quick. Killer ain't a problem. Pulling grass is a problem already because the ground's already dry. If you're wondering why I look over and ask questions, Miss Cindy's sitting to my right. She's stretched out on the couch. It's been a long day. We've had the grandbaby here. He's 16 months old. He's hands-on for both of us.
You have to do more than I do. I don't function too good when he's here.
It got up to 92 today. We got to 92 today. And we're going to get I think it said upper 90s, which is usually an underestimate. We watch the Weather Channel. We're usually a few degrees warmer than they say. I think everybody from Texas over is going to get that 100-degree weather.
Heat wave!
It ain't bad if it could cool off at night, but they're showing that nighttime temperatures are going to be up too. That makes it worse. Makes it hard on your plants in the garden too.
Oh.
I know you probably can't see the numbers, but I keep up the ground temperature. I've got a ground probe out in the garden. I can tell roughly how hot the ground is. We're in Middle Tennessee, real close to West Tennessee, right on the Tennessee River.
We're only a couple counties from the Alabama border.
We're right on the Tennessee River south of I-40. We'll look at a 3/4 acre of land this week. A nuclear plant is 8.2 miles away. Oak Ridge. Never been there. I know. I've heard about it.
I heard it.
I've actually got a machinist lathe that came from there. Well, I don't own it. I rented it at work, but it's a lot older than two of us together anyway.
You didn't say no. I can't imagine.
Sorry.
The nature.
Appalachian Nature.
Yeah.
Hello, y'all. Miss Cindy was fussing on me. I didn't say anything. I'm too busy trying to keep up with everything. I'm glad y'all here.
You gonna give us
She keeps me straight.
Southern off the hospitality now.
She's sitting off to the side, not able to join me. You won't see her in very many videos. Probably haven't seen her in a while in the videos because she don't really have the health to be out and help me and do things. So she kind of stays back and keeps me in line, you know. Everybody needs somebody to do that. Everybody needs a boss man, right?
I'm not the boss man, I'm the sounding board. You sit here and you tell me what you're doing, and I can tell you whether or not it makes no sense.
I can tell you the machinist lathe I got don't glow. My boss man used to tell us it'd probably glow if we turned the lights out. We haven't seen it glow yet. We've had it a long time. I think it's a 1943 model. Oak Ridge donated it to the school system I worked for back when I was a teenager. It didn't run until I actually went to work for the school system and I fixed it where it would run. But it's been sitting, I think they got it in 1990. It sat there till 2009. I went to work there. It sat for a few years.
That's the one I told you they could do if they had it working. If you told them, well, go turn it. You walked in there and you turned the power switch on and said, what's wrong with it? They didn't realize he fixed it.
I'm one of the bus mechanics for our local school system. Diesel mechanic, automotive mechanic, lawnmower mechanic, whatever they want you to do. I work on computers. I work on everything for them. Never been there. We're about 70 miles southwest of Nashville. So.
It's as close for us to go to Alabama as it is Nashville.
About the same. She's saying it's about as close to go to Alabama to the shop as it is to go to Nashville or Jackson. We've been in Florence probably the same amount of time or a little less.
We've been in Florence, Alabama for about the same time that they just get to Nashville.
Now, most people, when you say Tennessee, they try to put you in East Tennessee.
Well, most people know East Tennessee.
I don't blame them. I kind of like to be there.
You know the Smoky Mountains, and you know Graceland. If they're Elvis fans, they're all about.
They're Elvis are to the west, and if they're
Dolly Parton to the east.
Dolly Parton to the east, huh?
And when they ask, and you got Loretta in the middle.
Loretta Lynn's. That's how you find the middle.
And then, of course, the Grand Ole Opry is Nashville.
Yeah.
We were were just talking about the Opryland USA thing today in the magazine.
I think say something brought up Opryland today.
I missed that thing.
You miss Opryland.
It was on the
Don't
cover
miss
of
the
one of the
price,
magazine things.
It was high when they shut it down years ago. Now it's a shopping mall.
Yep. Opry Mills sits for Opryland
Yeah, it's
USA.
Opry Mills now. It sounds pretty neat. He said he made the city for the Manhattan Project. Hope that area is cool in Jamestown. Ever get up that way, I'd have to look around.
Have a good night.
Good night, Homestead and Pasture, Brother Lon. Thanks for stopping by. Like I said, we were just trying this out. We hadn't done it in a long time. Just trying to see if we can still get an old computer to reach out. I'm amazed it let me. We're going to get a newer computer. This has been a pain. Well, at least it does work. We can get
It's
online.
only what, 10-year-old?
I don't know. It's several years old. It just needs attitude adjustment every time you get it down.
Oh, no. It's had a hard life.
I agree. It's had a hard life. You're right.
It went through my school and then teaching and all the other stuff.
I don't know how long some of these people have been on here, but we were discussing our garden a while ago. We have 4 gardens. The stuff we had planted and the trees and bushes and vines and everything is growing around here. We are technically in town, but it's a rural, very rural area, even for being in city limits. The city owns land that they actually have the local farmer to bale hay on. So their garage is sitting in the edge of the field. They bale hay across the road from our house. We have no stop lights. We have no 4-way stops. We don't have a 3-way stop. We do have one real 1-lane road. That's the only thing we got other than straight through.
They really need to do something now before school comes out. That would help a lot.
Well, there used to be a stoplight in the middle of town. When I was a kid, they hung a stoplight for a while. They turned it on when they needed it. They turned it off the rest of the time. It didn't blink. I mean, they turned it off. On Friday afternoon, when everybody was getting off work and the store was getting busy, they'd turn it on and they'd let it run for a little while. So you really didn't know when you had a stoplight and when you didn't, unless you watched the clock. There's Geeky Gardens. Hey, Jack. I had to think. It's getting late. Sparta.
Sparta? Done that now.
We're just discussing the town here, Jack. I was telling them there's no stop lights, no 4-way stops, no 3-way stops. Nothing but straight through and one very short 1-way road.
Reminds me of the
I'd say there was 2, but the other's dug up right now. The city's had it dug up for about a month. It was a dirt road anyway.
Reminded me of that story my granddaddy told me when I was a kid about these people coming looking for a canoe rental in town. They came down to where he lived. They told him go back up our red light and look left. And they go up, they come back, and they said, where's the red light at? And he goes, you mean you missed that red light? Well, you go back up to the end of the road here, there's a red light, turn left. And third time they came down there, he asked him, he says, now, where are you boys turning around at? I said, well, there's a little parking lot across the road. He said, well, go back up there. When you turn around, stop and see what this place looks like. They had been turning around at the canoe rental they had been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
There was no red light because there's not a four-way. But, you know, that was just granddaddy.
That was a big
He liked to have
metropolis, huh?
fun. Major metropolis. That wasn't even a good store in that state.
He said, I remember when Hudson, Florida got his first stoplight. Now it's a 6-lane.
Wow.
I didn't know if you heard it a while ago, Geeky, but we was telling them they used to be a stoplight here. When I was a kid, they was a stoplight. They turned it on Friday evening. But you never really knew when it was going to work and when it wasn't, or when they turned it on or not. About the only time I remember seeing it. I remember once or twice actually pulling up and the stoplight was working.
Well, if the
Because I
battery
was a kid, I was just riding, but it's a 2-lane road through here, except for what the state of Tennessee has been working on that. They've made some really unique wide spots. They made a couple of 3 lanes. It's just almost ridiculous, but they kind of wasted several $1 million. I guess they're useful. Like riding
It's been a year and a half of construction.
year and a half construction, it still rides like a roller coaster. The idea of making things flat anymore, they don't worry about that. I think gravel roads are smoother.
We all ready for them to quit constructing here.
We're ready for the road construction to disappear.
It's been, you
We
never
have-
know what you're going to come into when you try to go from one place to the other.
If it goes to stretching out being a 4-lane or a 6-lane here, we're going to have to move. I don't know if I could handle the.
The homestead will go for sale.
Yeah. Couldn't handle it.
Everything we own would go for sale. We'd leave.
Yeah. I think they'll bypass this little town one of these days. They get to building big roads, I think they'll just go right around. Be a lot simpler. The little curvy road, it's a state highway, but it's curvy. I think they'd be better off just cut a new path. A lot of little towns has got done that way in Tennessee.
That reminds me of the rocking roller coaster on what this road looks like sometimes.
Yeah.
Ooh, wee. Up, down, turn, right, left, right, up, down, turn, right.
Mm.
You never knew what the curve was going to be like.
No.
The
Never know.
halftime sign wasn't right because somebody knocked them over.
There might be a lot of people moving here for that too, because there's, I think the last time I looked up, they say in the city limits there's 800 people. That was before all the factories went out. We had a lot of people come in every day to work.
Oh, I'd
That'd be
lose my
horrible.
mind. Ain't no way I could deal with construction that long.
Well, what took them so long here is the road was cut through the bluffs. It's hill country. We've got a lot of rock bluffs, and the road was basically cut straight down through the bluff rock. They had to come in and blast rock and drill rock and scoop and work for months to get it out here. I kind of liked it. You know, I was used to it, but they said that they was opening it up for people to see better, which they did. They moved a lot of dirt. Although done some weird things.
This road construction's been planned though, what, 20 years, 30?
Well, it kind of goes along with what Geeky Garden said. It never goes away. They've been working on this since we was kids. They just now got around to we're working on the road in the county going north and south. They've been working on east and west for the last 25 years.
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
It takes them forever to get anything done. Like I said, it's a whole lot of rock. They want to widen the road, they've got to move a whole lot of rock. Yeah.
Oh no, they was building to expand for traffic for us, but all the factories closed, so now they don't need it.
That was their excuse for adding onto our road. They said our road was too small for road trucks. It was too rough, too curvy, too small for road trucks to make it through. Now all the factories, but what, two? They shut down. There's no real traffic through
Where's the
here.
second one?
There's one in our town and one in the town next town up.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot that was still running.
I worked for the local one here that shut down years ago, and there was 2 or 3 road trucks a day coming in the 2 or 3 coming in, 2 or 3 bringing stuff in, 2 or 3 taking stuff out. Now there's little to no traffic as far as stopping here. They just drive through.
You can guarantee that they're gonna move off the sand.
Yeah. You find sand here, somebody's poured it out. Or you're down next to the riverbank. Most of the time that's mud.
You find
Big
sand
rocks
in
are mud.
Tennessee. You find sand in Tennessee, somebody transported it here.
I said somebody poured it out. Our yard is clay.
Raw.
Until I started hauling stuff in here 20 years ago, it was basically all clay. You couldn't hardly find a rock. You get stuff pulling in the driveway. I got stuff several times in the driveway. Yeah, my neighbor thought it was funny that I had a 2-wheel drive, 3/4 ton truck, and it would stick every time you got too far into the driveway. It was so heavy it just sink.
Yeah, we used that truck and a couple of shovels and made us a driveway.
About 10 truckloads later of gravel, it don't sink no more. I'm glad I don't have to do that no more.
But our neighbors ought to know that they had crazy people moving in next to them. When you move the shed across the yard using that pickup truck.
With a handy truck.
We had a shed. It was down in the lower end of the property. And Brett decided it needed to move up here next to the house. So he backs the truck into the shed, takes a sawzall, cuts the post off, the shed sits down on the bed of the truck, and he drives it across the yard.
We're inventive, we're not crazy.
They looked at us like we were nuts.
We did have a neighbor who said he'd seen it all.
Well, he did after he washed up.
Or he said he thought he'd seen it all. When he seen the building crank up and drive up to the yard, he thought that was
because it was
the toppers of all
dark.
things he's ever seen.
It was dust dark, and all you see is headlights, and lights are shining out of this building, and it's moving across the yard. You can't see the truck. All you saw was a building with lights moving across the yard.
See, he said it's not crazy. It's just doing what needs to be done. We was inventive. That was my 70 through 80 model Ford pickup.
That was your piece together.
Like I said, it's my 70 through 80 model.
Hey, but what else? You brought home the seed farm all you're using now in a box.
Yeah. We'll need a lot of things for the truck.
I call it the box tractor.
I still like moving the double stack antenna with the Bronco. We didn't fold it up. We moved the whole double stack antenna, push up pole and all. I tied it to the top of the Bronco and drove it to the house. I know that's older generation. People know what an antenna is.
I don't remember it much, but that just hit me when you said that. Yeah,
That's still funny though. See, We drove up that antenna on the top of that Bronco.
I remember that.
The double stacked antenna stuck out the back end of that big Bronco, and the push-up hole wouldn't shrink down. It was so old and rotten and rusty it wouldn't collapse. So I stuck it up front of the Bronco. I tied it to the front bumper and I tied it to the back bumper. We had television that night.
You know, we'll come up with a lot of crazy things over the years.
He said, just doing what needs to be done. We had fun.
We try to tell our kids how to do some of this stuff so they don't have to figure it out for themselves. You know what though? They're too much like us. They don't listen.
You know, Jesse got to see the frame for the solar panels. I hauled it down the road. The good thing was I didn't run into no local law or a state trooper while I was hauling it.
Yeah, but honey, around here they kind of just look at you and say, "Just get off the road before dark, please."
It was 10 by 11. It was sitting on a trailer that was about 6 foot wide. It got here.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff all through this county though.
Mm-hmm. We have fun doing it though.
That's why I'd say the cops just about get home before dark. Just get home before dark.
Our local law usually won't say nothing to you.
No,
Yeah, they
they
shake their
probably
head.
look at you like, need help? Let me flash for you because you know you kind of a little illegal here.
The THP don't see it that way.
Good thing. I mean, they gotten stricter over the years, but you gotta know, back in the day, it's.
Well, years ago it was a lot easier to do this stuff. Now they're everywhere and they don't find things funny like they used to. They would have laughed and waved at you and you drove by 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Now they eyeball you if you haul anything because they can give you a DOT inspection or write you a ticket.
Well, you know, back in the day,
And yes, they
They
can write
know.
one for a pickup.
they know that that's just the way you gotta do it. Nowadays, they expect you to find somebody that knows what they're doing and pay them to do it.
Yep.
You know, I ain't got used to this thing echoing in my ear when I say it to you and then it comes back.
Are they the delay is driving her crazy because she hears me say it and then 10 seconds later it actually comes across the computer. So she's able to watch on her cell phone and listen on her cell phone.
We've been on here for a little while.
We've been on for almost 44 minutes.
You get 44 minutes?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to make a 5-minute video.
That's because you got me yakking. You know, every time you move that chair, that goes right.
No.
Yeah.
I can't hear nothing.
It goes.
I need to get me a straight chair, huh? I need my old straight chair, I used to say that to my grandparents. Well, I don't make no noise.
I know, you still make noise. Because your feet slide across the floor.
It's all about that chair.
I think it's going.
Yeah. Somebody else got a subject they want to start up? We'll spend a few more minutes on here. There wasn't nothing else on YouTube for me to watch.
You know watermelon?
Hmm.
You know watermelon?
We got watermelons planted.
Doesn't matter.
14 or 15 plants.
I'll have a couple. No.
See what Geeky said. It was for you. She got her earbuds in. So.
You got somebody here.
Prep for eternity. That's Brother Donnie in Alabama. Hey, Brother Donnie. I was having to tell Cindy she's not used to the names. I call everybody by their names and not by the necessarily the YouTube name.
Howdy.
Cindy's in the background, stretched out on the couch.
My drink is going down.
At least you joined us. Maybe more corn. You gonna see if you can get it knee high by July? Good to see you, brother. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. We hadn't had a live, and we was talking about, well, go 2 or 3 years probably. When we first started YouTube, we tried it out. Of course, you have to try everything out. Had to try all the buttons out, you know. I dug his computer out, and I've worked on it since 8 o'clock. Finally got the thing beaten to submission by 9:30. I told her we're going to have a newer computer. We're going to do this much. It's just too aggravating to work on. It has to be persuaded every time you turn it on to do something. So. I haven't seen Chris or Darlene online lately. I like Ozzy's Oddities. Very neat channel. That was one we watched. I watched last night with the tractors on it. I think Mr. Ozzy's got a lot of tractors in that shed.
Is that the one?
We didn't see them all.
No, well, no. No, well.
Yeah, that was the metal wheel one. Well, all 4 gardens is doing really well. They're growing grass really well. I've been pulling grass and tilling, trying to get it out of there.
Yeah, sure.
Geeky was talking about growing more corn. I probably will too. I'll probably plant the filth kind.
No, buy the red one.
You what?
Red popcorn.
Yeah, we planted red popcorn. So I just got it started, but I don't have enough space to plant 4 or 5 different kinds of corn without it crossing, so I have to plant them, give it a few weeks, and plant another one. As soon as the potatoes go out in the garden next to the house, I'm gonna put out some Buell corn. It's a heirloom corn. Brother Donnie, it's been a while since I called him. It's probably been 5 or 6 weeks, come to think of it. It's been longer than I thought. I called him right before his last video. Been a while. I have to call and check on Chris, see what's going on.
You don't have your grass picker. You don't have your grass picker.
No, I've lost my grass puller. I've got one row of the pink eye purple hull just to make new seed, have a little bit to eat. You won't make a whole lot, but I've had the seed off and on in the freezer for, what was it? We planted all that 2017 or 18.
You want to spend me remember?
Well, we planted it at my grandmother's, so I think that was 2017. We planted the garden at my grandmother's, mainly for her to look at. It gave us more room to work and more room to grow food, but she'd open her door every day and she'd sit in her chair and watch the garden grow, basically.
She passed away.
I was reading Geeky. She said he didn't do the volume most people. He planted 50 seeds. That's pretty good for a raised bed. No, my grandmother passed away in 2018 when
No,
she was 96,
yeah.
working on 97. And we planted this for her to be able to sit in the recliner and look out the door at it.
No joy.
She'd call us about every day and say, hey, I think you got something up there you need to go pick.
She's been 99 this year.
Yeah. You've been 99, haven't you? That was a good godly woman too. She was a member of the Church of Christ for over 60 years anyway. I lost count. Probably about 70 years.
All her life. Well, that particular one. Or Hilltown. I had a different one from her bell.
Yeah, that's when she moved to town. That's, I think in the 50s when they built that building.
I was calling them 5 pound and 12 members.
Yeah.
Oh, my speech is on.
I guess you pretty much in Church of Christ all of her life. And that particular church, she was there over 60 years.
I remembered before it was brick.
Yeah, I was halfway raised by her. My grandparents halfway raised me. I kind of bounced back and forth, but they was my best guidance, I guess you can say. Cindy was raised in the south end of the county, and I was raised in the north end of the county, but she was Church of Christ also. Her family's Church of Christ. No, most of them are. We're not anymore.
And we kind of went somewhere else.
Mm. That's a whole nother subject.
What happened back with why?
Hmm.
Yeah, we were raised.
We was raised 30 miles from one another.
Yeah.
25, 30 miles.
Not 25.
Same age, went to school together.
Same grade in high school.
Had some of the same classes in high school.
Tractor enthusiast.
Not really.
Tractors to work.
There's not really a lot of people interested in them. A lot of people that owns them. We used to have a tractor show for the FFA, and it fizzled out 2019. I think it ran for 8 or 9 years, and people just got tired of it. You're not going to get a farmer to bring a tractor out. It's usually somebody that's got an older tractor, you know, they got it painted and fixed up. A farmer thinks it's crazy to bring a tractor to look at. I think we got up, what, 80 or 100 tractors one time. Then it fell off.
Well, it's most of them, it's in October, so it's kind of hard because they're
Yeah.
finishing up the harvest and stuff.
But it was not really good weather. We always have it the third week of October. We used to have a tractor show, a tractor ride, and then we had a tractor pull. All benefit for FFA fundraiser. Had tractor games. I mean, it was all day tractor. People just got tired of it, I guess. Same people pretty much shows up every year with the same stuff, but every once in a while you'd have a few unique ones. There's a lot of tractors in this county.
And they come bring your farm right out for a pool.
Well, you get a lot more people out for the pull. They still get excited over that. We usually have over 100 pulls. Not necessarily 100 different tractors and trucks, but some of them pull 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times. Usually 150 pulls is what they try to hit. That pace for the sled. We usually get pretty close, if not over.
Money is used for kids going to school.
Now the county to the east of us has a demolition derby at their fair every year. They have a company come in and set up all the rides, and they have something different. 3 or 4 nights of the week. They have a jump and run race. They have the derby for 2 nights. I forgot what the other ones is. There's 2 or 3 different things. Beauty pageant. I mean, they're a bigger county, got more people, and get a lot more done. It is fun to go watch the demolition derby too.
Oh, it is fun, but I just can't do it no more.
Hey, you couldn't stand it anymore. Yeah, we'd sit so close to get dirt thrown on us. We used to have a circus come through and a fire come through. I guess we're so small now we don't interest them in stopping by. We are north of Florence. Whatever that little place is, we wind up going to occasionally when we make a wrong turn. He asked what we was north of in Alabama. I said, we're north of Florence. We made that wrong turn that time. We wound up at some nice little community down next to the water.
Oh, no,
We can be in Florence probably as quick as we could be in Nashville or Jackson.
no.
Maybe a little quicker. It takes a little over an hour. Yeah, it'd be about the same. Of course, the road's crooked. It's 2-lane road all the way there, and it's probably the worst part of the highway. It's Highway 13,
It's a roller coaster for a while.
It's Highway 13, and it turns into 17, and it turns into 11, and 117. I forgot what all it turns into. Like 6 different roads.
Mm-hmm.
5 miles. 5 miles away, you probably still hear it. You hear the buzz of it.
That probably got people parking in their yard just go to it.
I don't know, he might be close enough to sell parking spots. They'd have park around the gardens though.
Big deal.
They'd have park around his plants though.
They do what? 3 places there a year?
So the nearest dirt track's what, 25 miles away?
Yeah.
Dirt track racing's big here, so.
They phone 500 was like his granddaddy of all races. You win this, you just turn it off.
Jackson's a pretty good sized town. It's got a lot of stores and stuff in it. I don't know how many people. Some people go to Jackson to shop. It depends on what end of the county you're on. The southern end of the county will split and go between Florence and Jackson. Northern end of the county where we're at, you go to Dixon or Nashville, or you can run down to Jackson.
Let's see, we got 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
They form one in Tennessee, so it'd be hard to. West Tennessee though, you'd have to be freed or.
Freed and more.
What's the other one that the kids from our church goes to?
Lipscomb, no, not Lipscomb.
Bethel?
Lee
Lee?
University.
There are Bethel College.
Bethel College is over that way.
I know Bethel's in around Jackson. Freed is.
Where's in Henderson?
It's in Hendersonville.
Or Henderson.
Henderson. Oh,
Bethel's in the Jackson area. It's over there across UT.
Kids from our church a lot of times will go to Bethel. Bethel College. I can't think of what all's down there.
I don't know more about Jackson.
It's a lot bigger than where we're at, so. It's kind of like Nashville. We go in with a plan. We go to places we need to hit, and we get back out. Yeah. Jackson used to have a mall. I don't know if it still has a mall. It's got big plazas now full of stores, so I don't know if they really need a mall. Union. That's it.
Union University.
Nashville's growing kind of like Geeky was talking about. The construction never ends. Construction never ends in Nashville. You're going to hit construction no matter where you go. Whichever way you'll go in, you'll find construction. They're constantly building more roads and repairing roads and building turns and twists that only GPS can lead you in. I know we got to be getting off here. We've been on here over an hour. We're wearing you out, ain't we?
Yeah, I can believe that. We're getting all kinds of people.
You need to tell them it's full. We don't need anybody else. Tennessee's full. We don't need no more people, especially in our area. I like it being small.
Well, people moving into our county from California. And trying to figure out how the world they find it.
Thank you for stopping by. We're glad a few people found us. We were just playing around, but we'll have to do it again. The telephone's talking. Yeah. Geeky said Florida's full too. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it too. I got to let Cindy get some rest. She's ready to wind down. I appreciate everybody coming by though. I've had fun anyway. I should have done this a long time ago again, but I've let it go. Y'all have a good night. We're going to see if we can remember how to shut all this down. Good night, everybody. God bless.